Recording now. Thank you everyone for joining. Now I'm going to share the screen so we can start going through our, oh, stop, sorry. Some issues. Got it. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect. I will make it a bit bigger. So yeah, hi everyone, thank you for joining the call today. Nice to see all of you, and please, who is not yet added to the list, add your names, and let's get started. Amelia, based on the call that there was last week, there was a request to start the call and dedicate it mainly for the budget topic. So I will give a word to you to summarize like what we have at the moment, what we need to debate today on.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Tatiana, for sending out the minutes with the core agenda that is the budget, the marketing budget. Last Tuesday on the call, we discussed for the first time this year the budget for 2022, really the general allocation of funds. And now it is the job of the microprofilers here to have some idea, to cement some figures on how to spend the budget for 2022. We need to use the spreadsheet. So if you can open it and find it, it should be in the links. Yes, this one. We go
already prepared.
Yeah. Excellent. So we go into, you can see here, we reduce the budget by a little bit more than half. We have available 27,000. If we go into total budget tab, here, during the call, we worked out on what is the revenue after the Eclipse Foundation expenses, correct? We have some fees that we need to pay that are fixed. And then we go into revenue. Marketing is, has thus far 21,000, almost 22,000. And what we need is to go into the marketing budget and allocate it. So if we go to the tab, marketing tab, then this is for discussion here. And these numbers are, you can disregard them. It's just a starting point. So how do we spend the $22,000?
So this is $22,000 is for the end of the year, or this is like for already for the next year?
That's for next year.
Yeah, 22 is incorrect. 22 is incorrect. That's 2258. Whatever is in the total budget needs to be brought here. Clearly, after that call, I don't think I came back to fix this. So the 2022 total budget has the marketing. That needs to go on top or on the bottom, right? And then we need to total up. Usually last year we used percentages and that was really cool. We can do it again this year, or we can just go and say this much for swag and events. Clearly we need to be careful with sponsoring events. COVID numbers are starting to increase again. And we can use that for swag and things like that. We need to be very cautious and pragmatic.
Still online events that we, that's.
Yeah, online events. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, I think that we need to delete these Google ads because most likely we are not going to have Google ads on MicroProfile. Am I correct with that?
No, actually, what we notice is that when people are submitting content, like videos in Spanish and French and German, there is no way for the media currently to push those, the content. So last year we decided to take it out. It was like about 5,000 or 10,000 an ad. And the good conversation was like, no, let's skip it. It's too late and let's just move on. But the idea is, how do we push content that is provided by our community that we can highlight it continuously? Like MicroProfile uses Hootsuite. Thanks, John. Hootsuite to push media, but there is no way for us to push it to the world. Ed is correct and has been correct on saying, not only do we want people that are using MicroProfile to know what is the latest updates, we also want people that have no clue about MicroProfile across the world to do that. And personally, I believe the Google Ads is the way to go. And this can be managed by us because that is what we do. We know exactly what's going on, and it's just, it will be not a part of services. It will be part of what we do to push content. And we surely strategize what content to go through and all this stuff like releases, really great content, things like books. Emily and 4 others wrote a book. There are many different books for MicroProfile. How do we push it? If there is any better ideas besides Google Ads, let's speak it here.
We could do something. Sorry. We could
Sorry,
do
go ahead. Yeah.
D-Zone or InfoQ. They also take sponsored posts.
Yeah. Debbie, you're correct. Mike, who is one of the authors and really close admins to InfoQ, his task 2 weeks ago was to go into InfoQ and ask how can we do that with them. And he came back with, usually InfoQ do not accept that kind of money, not only for creating the content. I think we need to talk with them and say, we want to push this. How do we do that? Because they don't get paid content. So I'm not sure what is your experience with them, because Mike came back saying that for the creation of content, technical content, and also other stuff is, they want to make it less biased. It needs to come from outsiders. They can push it, but it's not paid. They're very
usually in InfoQ they are not taking. They are taking. They have paid option for the banners, but not for the content
Correct.
publishing.
So we do have the option to write content amongst ourselves and just post it on InfoQ, right?
correct.
Yeah, you can post it, and they have the right either to approve it and take it for the publication or not. And they have like specific rules. You need to have like unique content that shouldn't be posted before anywhere. And there are like a set of rules for that.
Yes. So Mike is going to send a message this week on what he found, because it's very helpful. They have changed a few more things to make it so InfoQ is very neutral, really neutral, so that the readers, because it has one of the best reading materials, like David, is read by everyone else. It's like that in D-Zone. Yeah, D-Zone is easier because in D-Zone we create the content, we pay 5,000, and then they push it, and it reaches thousands and thousands of readers, right? But that is for a technical content paper. But InfoQ is lighter, and we can use it for any content. Like we have this set of Victor's 13 videos on Spanish. We should be pushing those through InfoQ, but we need to do something a little bit different and bring Victor on board to write something for InfoQ that will be set in their website. Not only, it can be cross-posted in MicroProfile, but the rules are different. So I don't think this call is for that just yet, but how do we push content that is created by microprofilers that will go global? My thing is Google Ads. Jan, you are really against Google Ads, and you are unmuted. Your way.
Yes, I think it's like putting water on a hot stone. It vaporizes, and it's waste of money, because with our budget, we cannot push things really in that way. And I think to get attraction, especially doing Google searches or in the community, it's because of creating content and creating updates to the website recently with blog posts or news or stuff like this. The search engine, especially Google, checks if there are frequent updates on websites, and then they get ranked up by that. And if somebody looks for a MicroProfile and doesn't find MicroProfile.io in the first hits, then there's something wrong with the search engine and not with our investment in Google Ads, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be effective for us to take out Google Ads from any keywords that are MicroProfile, because we're already the top hit, right? So it's already there. The only keyword of the only way we'd attract a new audience that isn't already searching for MicroProfile would be to take out Google Ads for other technologies like spring or something like that. And I think that would just make us look really hostile.
It will be too expensive for us to battle within the Java topics, within the Spring topics. This will be super expensive to have at least some coverage, normal coverage. So this is going to be a bit of wasted. So maybe we need to plan something like D-Zone post adding to the report or something like of these kinds. Also, we can add extra ads in social media. Maybe try to get some and forums, something like advertisement on Reddit, advertisement on Quora or something like that. Trying some forums with paid ads there.
I agree with Tatiana. Sorry, I joined late. I managed to actually join.
Yes.
The most effective SEO you can ever have is your TLD. If you own that, it doesn't get any better. But like, you start going down the Spring, whatever, any popular keywords you lost, and then you're competing with everyone else. But I just wanted to make a point that when I was Oracle, surprisingly, we did very well on Facebook. I was shocked. I didn't really believe it. But if I think about it, my demo, I guess, my age, I'm not going to give it, I'm 56. I think the demo for most people who might want to reach, use Facebook as their, primary social platform outside of Twitter. You want to do Twitter. Is that something we've considered in the past? And I'm sorry if this question has been asked.
No, we have never had a budget for Twitter or media. So we have never paid. Facebook. We have never paid paid ads, and we can do that. Hootsuite is linked to the 3 different accounts. Ryan, you can go into details, and most of the things, there is a combination between static that we have done before we had the budget to bring in Hootsuite, but in 2022, yes, all media will go through Hootsuite, and we can choose and pay Facebook, or we can choose, that will be a cool way to go.
So I have a question on that though, because you need the content there to get the most out of anything like that, right?
Well, for the page, yes, but if you're talking paid, then there doesn't have to be that much content on the page. If you're talking paid campaigns.
Yeah,
well, to make the best outcome, like for both promoting some kind of content and also improving the rank of MicroProfile website, that might be good. For example, if we have some new book coming out or new video coming out, this book can be described like with one passage at least, then like attachment of this book or like link where this book can be downloaded, at least some kind of blog post around that published, and then the advertisement should lead to this page, not to the external one, but specifically to the page of MicroProfile, for us to bring more traffic to the website and increase the rank in terms of search engine optimization.
Yeah, I was
same
trying to make
for the videos. Yeah,
I was trying to make the comment of how much content are we posting to Facebook throughout the year?
Not much, because we just got Hootsuite up and we weren't doing it separately. So
Yeah.
I think this year we can definitely start pushing, maybe even retweeting or even pushing old content back onto social media. So just in case anyone missed it, they can find it again. But we haven't been doing much.
Yeah.
The other, sorry. Hi, everybody. Hi, Emily. So the other areas is the kind of, I think MicroProfile Twitter handle is pretty much active. The other area is LinkedIn. So I think in addition to Facebook, maybe we also should, pay more attention to LinkedIn.
So LinkedIn's a great avenue. It's expensive. It can get really expensive. I'm unsure of the ROI there. Again, I try to think of myself as the audience to a lot of these things, and I'm a heavy LinkedIn user, but I don't generally spend much time browsing it. if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I
that's the
generally
point.
spend more time browsing Facebook if I'm going to browse, or Twitter. If, you know, I think our folks hang out on Twitter and Facebook, but LinkedIn, it makes sense on the surface because it's a business audience. I'm just not convinced how much time people spend browsing posts.
Yeah.
And
I
again,
don't ever go to LinkedIn unless I
MicroProfile
need to get something done.
MicroProfile has such kind of topic that is more technical oriented. So LinkedIn is more business oriented and more like high level people searching for some business enterprise and some stuff like that, if they are searching in general something. If we are talking about more technical audience, this is more Facebook, Twitter, and some forums like Reddit, Quora, or whatever, like Stack Overflow.
Well, Reddit's tricky. You can advertise on Reddit. Reddit's actually pretty cheap. Again, I'm not convinced of the ROI, but in order to get posts upvoted, it's all community driven. So just from personal experience of trying to promote things on Reddit, it's hard to do that unless you have to do that as an individual, if you know what I mean, rather than the brand.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
What kind of budget do you think we would need if we wanted to push, like say we post our next blog post to Facebook, which we should be doing because of Hootsuite. And then if we wanted to, boost it, right, with some revenue, what's effective these days? I mean, I've done it myself in the past, like 10 years ago, and I could get by with like, $200 and get some pretty good reach if you put the targeting good. I don't know what the current.
I honestly don't know because it honestly don't know. I think those are the kind of things you need to do, some trials and some A/B testing on to see what resonates.
Well, it depends on the audience, depends on the topic, and in general, in what coverage we want to have. But I think that something like 100 can work to start with. I was thinking that maybe we need to plan on something like minimum 500 per month because we are not going to have it like day by day, most likely. So this will be like when we have something, so some money can be spent on the other activities or whatever, but at least 500 per month we need to have in budget for some ads, for minimal ads.
It's about 6K for the whole year.
Yeah.
Or exactly.
That sounds great.
So one more comment I have, maybe this kind of social media also is different across the geos. I know in the UK, I cannot say something about Europe. I know it's maybe Jiang can say something for Germany. So Facebook kind of at least in my circle and etc. is more used for the kind of non-professional, almost like a family oriented stuff. Maybe this thing is different in the States and etc. I'm wondering, for if we push the same thing in Facebook, can we use a free kind of the thing also push to LinkedIn? So basically, I'm not sure whether what kind of business account you have. I think is the free account in LinkedIn probably we could push quite a lot of stuff already.
And you don't need to have a paid LinkedIn to do any advertising.
Yeah.
It can be done from your business page. Just need to set up the account and the ad groups and stuff.
So in this case, Vincent, if we do publish something on Facebook, actually we could do the dual post on LinkedIn.
It could be the same thing.
Yeah. So
Hootsuite will take care of that for us. So if basically you go to Hootsuite and then you say you want to schedule something to be posted, and it would be like, what channels do you want to post it on? And it will show you previews of your card and things like that.
Does it give you, does Hootsuite give you all the LinkedIn options? For example, like on Facebook, you basically create a post of whatever you want, whether it's video or the type of ad. On LinkedIn, I think there's like 8 or 9 different types of ads you can run. video, carousel, promoted posts, in-mail. There's quite a lot of them.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Vince, will you like to be an admin for Hootsuite? Currently, we're only 3. This is Tatiana, Ryan, and myself, and we would love for you to come and join and help on that side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
perfect. Submit a Git issue. Say need access to this. Will help. So then we can check update the infra of MicroProfile admins, and you will get the access today, because this is super important. And Ryan has been amazing at pushing all the content and scheduling, but we have not used any money to it. And we need a strategy. And that means not only this call, but we need like an outline and say what content we want it to go through, and then you specify it and be very wary of.
Yeah. So this type of thing, this type of content strategy is really important if you're thinking about an annual campaign and spend and whatever else. Look, I'm not a technical marketer, but I've done some of this stuff before. So we do need a content strategy, right? Correct. And it will change throughout the year as new things happen. New releases, new books, important blog articles to amplify, etc. But again, I don't know if I'm the right person to build that out, but it should be a living document.
Yeah, we will do it together. You will not be alone. We will all do it together. But definitely, this is something that Ryan shouldn't be doing on their own, or we need more eyes on this. And it's super fun. So we're saying at the end that we will add you as a admin for Hootsuite, and pay ads. Who is against this idea of having at least $66,000 for it?
As long as it's not Google ads.
Yeah, don't do that.
I think the Facebook ads are pretty useful. Like I've used them in the past, and they get pretty good reach.
Yeah, but look, it's until you do some testing on it, you really don't know what's going to happen. I'm just giving you the Oracle perspective we had, and which honestly surprised me, because I wouldn't have thought that, frankly. But there you go.
Yeah, I think Emily asked for the situation in Germany. It depends maybe on the persona you want to address. The serious developers don't use Facebook.
But it's not about
even the young people. I read some statistics in a news article that Facebook has a problem to attract the young people. They use fancy things like TikTok and stuff.
So I agree, and it's not. I don't think it's. Yes, young people. It's not the place to reach them socially. But when you think Facebook, it's not, and it's not a business channel. I'm just thinking of where people spend time. So I'd agree that technical people do not use Facebook. I don't use it for anything, tech industry related. But as a person, I spend more time there than LinkedIn, for example. So while these folks are browsing their family pictures and what have you, we want to expose them to our content. I agree with you. I don't think they use it as a technical resource. I mean, who would? But as a way to reach them, I've been presented with data that surprised me. So, but again, we'd have to try it.
So slightly
Instagram, is that worth looking into here, or is that really a different demographic?
It depends.
For us, Instagram was not working well for attracting tech guys. This is more like maybe community building. If we are going to post there something like photos from events or something like that, this might be interesting and good to attract some people to start following. But as a source for making decisions to click and do something technically or take the product and start using that, at least for now, from my side, I didn't see good outcome out of that source.
Okay.
What's the cost for Twitter? Does anybody know?
How long's a piece of string?
What's that?
How long's a piece of string?
Oh, okay, sure. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think with Twitter, there's no real way to judge the cost. And, I think with Twitter, you build out campaigns with, again, there's different, you can set different goals in Twitter, whether it's driving, whether it's engagement or awareness or what have you. And then you kind of build it out the same way you do with AdWords or anything else, with your persona. And then it just says, well, here's the potential reach, and then it's all based on impressions.
right. But we get to pick our budget.
You do get, yeah, you can
put caps on there.
Yeah, you can. You can set a daily budget or a campaign budget and set the beginning and end date and so on.
Okay.
So for us, so in row number 5, it was just added because on one of the calls we talked about the importance of DZone and InfoQ, and now we know that only DZone will allow us to pay the $5K if we want to do something like this. Do we want to delete number 5 and just go into maybe allocating more money to pay ads and swags? The thing is, technical content, we can write it ourselves. I wonder if the 5K or a little bit less will be better used on us testing paid ads. And also because we want people that have not ever heard about MicroProfile to be aware of it, to, these college students that are not sure about what technology to learn first, right? Maybe they go into Java because they say, oh my God, MicroProfile is this awesome community. I just joined because I saw this and I have been welcomed. We want to reach the new generation.
How
Right?
about a free class? Like, how you can take online courses to learn different tools and technology? I'm sorry, I realized I interrupted you.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go.
Like if when I didn't study technology, very obviously, but when I was in college, I was looking for things to put on my resume. So I took certifications in HR and recruiting. What if they put together a class online that college students could take for a certification? They might not really help them get it, it may or may not mean much to their employer, but at least you have young people learning more about this technology. You'll have hiring managers seeing something on their resume, wondering if it's up and coming. I don't know. Do you think that's too indirect or could it be useful?
We have microprofilers weekly giving paid workshops globally, from Brazil to Germany to France to India. There, we have Adam Beans, we have like South Java pushing workshops that are paid and their language. So we have that. What we need is for them, those ones that are doing that job, to be highlighted. We want to highlight the ones that are doing the job. And this is why paid ads or grab Google ads, right? Paid ads are important. Paid ads enable us to highlight those OSO doers that are talking about MicroProfile and teaching. I think it's too complex for us to decide to put something and reinvent the wheel with a workshop that is already out there, right? We're not a university that is overloaded. It's not a good idea in the sense that we will have to hire someone to own that
Slow
program.
down so other people can get words in. So there are people who do workshops, and so maybe we could help them promote them.
Yeah. Like
I like the idea. Yeah.
I don't know where people look for workshops, but on LinkedIn you can look for classes and certifications. On Coursera you can look for classes and certifications.
There's Udemy, there's Pluralsight, there's Coursera.
Yeah, LinkedIn has its own, its own
LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah. So maybe there's a case of building it out there. And where that's useful, I think, is it's not so much that an employer will pay attention to that. So a younger person, for sake of argument, takes this LinkedIn certification and learns something about MicroProfile, in the same way that they might if they went to a user group meeting or whatever. Now, indirectly, that helps them in that they could be at an interview like 6 months later, where MicroProfile or anything connected to what we do is not even part of the job description, but it comes up in conversation, and then that person is like, oh well, I have a perspective because he doesn't say this, but he has a perspective because, or he or she has a perspective because they've taken this LinkedIn university thing and they have an answer, and that may make the difference to them between them getting a job and the other person getting the job.
The only problem I see with LinkedIn Learning, sorry to interrupt, Vincent, is that you have to be probably the paid member, because I actually kept my paid membership profile because I wanted to do
Yes.
LinkedIn Learning. I have also a Pluralsight 1-year subscription, which actually is my personal subscription. So I like that one better. And there are other options also. If you have Udemy is actually good because you have a lifelong one time, you can buy the course and keep it off forever and it can get updated as well.
So just to add here, like to summarize what we've heard, this is a really nice idea to have this kind of training. But as far as I see right now, in order to have it on Udemy or Coursera or whatever, we need to build like our own course. And this is a bunch of work that is required. And I'm pretty sure 100% that right now we don't have people who are going to dedicate themselves to build that. Because everyone has its own job outside of MicroProfile, and
Or they already have their own course and don't.
yeah,
want to
or they
donate the
already
IP.
have. They don't need to have extra course to compete with them. So, and if we are talking about those people who already have courses, yes, we can help them promote them, because this is going to be extra promotion for MicroProfile as well, and that lays again to the paid advertisement, because most likely we're going to promote them through the advertisement.
Right.
So this will be one of the posts, like this goes together with those books, videos, and so on and so forth that are going to come. So we need to not to forget about that,
Yep.
we need to add and maybe even find those people who are making those courses, because from my side, for example, I have no idea who is doing that, but most likely there are people like that. So we need to have maybe the list of those people, maybe even add those people to the list of those Java user groups that we are sending swags and all the stuff. Maybe this can be also like part of populating through them, in addition to user groups. So this is a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
But for this year, we can consider this paid advertisement. And while communicating with those people during this year, like promoting their courses, so on and so forth, we already can discuss with them whether they're interested to add like full course to the Coursera or whatever. If we see something worth investing, and we see that like this is some kind of work that this person can do, we can even invest in that for the next year, for example.
Yes, so I want to say internally, the microprofiler is not ready to come and create his Git ticket from Paris, but he created so many videos on MicroProfile, and I sent a link of the blog of Victor, and he's like, I love it. So it means that my content will be publicized globally. So now this microprofiler is going to be much more engaged in the level of, he did it because he loves this community, and you know, he's a consultant, so he looks amazing talking about all these technologies, but now he has never gotten support by anyone. And I said, this is Victor, we have never invested money on shipping this content, but and I cannot speak for MicroProfile because we have not spoken about, this is like conversation 2 months ago, but we're thinking about how to highlight people like you. He came back like last week and said, I had no idea about this. I'm really excited. Definitely, yes, I'm going to gather my content, put it together so that MicroProfile team can do whatever they want with it, right? So this is the kind of conversations. Not only, maybe someone might be thinking, who do I go and talk about? But if the community, our community, prioritizes the content creation, workshops, even though, like, especially those ones that are paid, non-paid, then we will be promoting the champions. When we talk about the MicroProfile champions, we're talking about highlighting those ones that do things, not solely those ones that join every meeting, but we're talking about those ones that are on their own, spending the weekend time doing this because they love it. They love educating and sharing what they learn, and they are thankful for the technology. So my philosophy here is maybe we should increase paid ads, remove number 5, maybe even partner with IntelliJ, JetBrains. And for an example, give me another minute. An example, imagine if we partner as a MicroProfile with IntelliJ, buy a few licenses a year, maybe 10, and we will have a discount with them because we will be partners. And I'm not speaking for JetBrains, but they do this because they have the academic education and they care about this. They always look for partners to highlight not only the products, but also that they care about supporting students that are, or developers that are initiating and don't have those few $100s a month or a year, whatever the license costs, right? I can't give numbers because I do not know the discounts. Can we, think maybe those other 5,000 can be invested on partnering up with different tooling vendors, using their support to support our community, highlight what we're doing for developers as well, right? To enrich and invest in their education, right? So is this something that we can consider, or is this way off? And are we not prepared?
I wanted to interject when we're still talking about training.
Okay, go ahead.
We can return to that topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because you started there and then you went off into another topic.
Yes.
And, there was no opportunity.
All right, go ahead.
So you started to say things about content being donated to the project to be owned by MicroProfile. I don't necessarily think that that's a good idea.
No, it will not be owned. It will be owned by the people that makes MicroProfile, the people that creates the content. They just cross-process.
Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I think it's effective if we can promote everybody's courses, because I do know that other vendors create content, have workshops as well. We have a workshop. I believe IBM has a workshop, or at least I've seen Emily do workshops, so I know that they exist. And so, if there was any perception when they're all there being promoted equally, and that's good, but when one of them kind of stands out as this is the official MicroProfile content, it really diminishes the drive for other people to try and compete with that. And then we get less workshops.
Yeah, we are community driven, so that's why it's better to spread the attention to different directions and to different options available on the market. And I think that we can add these 5 to 6 and have it in paid ads altogether, but with the mark that after Reddit we can put in the brackets D-zone as well. And the idea is that usually, as far as I know, the topic around Java, for example, in D-zone, the report about Java is going on in autumn. So we are going to have at least half a year to practice social media ads to see how that works for us. And if we see that it brings the required traffic and the required interest, we can keep going till the end of the year. If we see that this is not really gaining the results that we have expected, we can plan in somewhere in summer already to get in touch with D-zone, for example, and figure out how to get this slot for 5,000. Because as far as I remember, usually they have this report about Java stuff somewhere in autumn. So we will still have time to do that. And again, considering this content for D-zone, this is also some technical content that should be created, and we can use some work of those who are making courses, who are making some blog posts in general, in order to promote those people again and make like some kind of content altogether out of that, or choose one that is best suited for this direction.
So Tatiana, you recommend that we delete number 5, move it 5,000 to row 4. And in this, what about +1? And does anyone disagree with this?
Well, if it's going to be the same total, what's the point of not splitting it out?
Because there is no 100% assurance that we're going with D-zone separately. We will decide on that. Both of those, all of this stuff, these are mainly paid paid ads or paid media. So they all together like more or less about the same, just different ways of getting that. So whether if we decide that we go with DAZN, later we can go with DAZN. If we decide that we are not going, we can keep going with usual social media paid ads.
It seems very pragmatic.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. More flexibility.
By the way, do we have a YouTube channel? I never saw.
Here is John. He's the only one that uses for important videos that are recording like this ones. We don't use
only this type of videos we have, because I saw these videos, but I never saw like any other videos within the YouTube channel. But okay, we have it. It's good. Maybe we can think during the next year at least to make some how it is called. Oh my gosh, it's evening for me. It's already difficult to to think. Some playlists a year and add to those playlist video materials that are done by outside people. In this way, they will be shown in YouTube channel of MicroProfile, but we are going to reuse the content that other people are doing.
That is what I was talking about. Yeah, you're talking about important some of the videos that are created by community, and if they want to contribute those, the audio files or the video files, we would have no control of it. The videos can live in two different areas. One of the bad things about that is that then the authors will lose track of how many views. They will have two sources of truth, and it's very hard to track, but it's a choice, right? If they choose to donate in that form. That's what
but the views will be visible even if we are not admins, so the views we will see. The point is, like, some of the video materials, of course, we can, for example, download and upload them, but I understand that the majority of people who are making those videos, they are making them to attract traffic to their channels. They are doing that for their channels. And I understand that they don't really want to split this traffic between channel of MicroProfile and channel of their own. So that might be better just to have a playlist where we like have these videos added. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm talking about. Let me.
Okay, so I see, I just pulled up what you're doing. You can make a playlist of other people's videos that you're promoting in a centralized way from your channel, but it stays under their ownership, and all the metrics route back to their.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, here is the sample how I do this for Jelastic. So here is the playlist. It is laying within Jelastic channel. So if I go back, you can see that this is the channel of Jelastic. These are different videos. And here, if I go to the created playlist, for example, webinars, you can see that this webinar is done by our partner, and it's laying in the channel of our partner, but not in our own. We just edit it so people can see it.
Can we do that? If we can do that,
sure.
That would be fantastic. We have many. I already have.
We already have a lot of videos. We can just like combine and make a playlist.
We need to invite those. We need to invite those creators. Tatiana, this is great. Create a gift ticket. You can help us lead this initiative, and I can already add a bunch of microprofilers. They have the YouTube all focused on MicroProfile, and you tell us what to do. That's it. This is great.
Yeah. We can separate these lists by languages, for example.
Correct.
This can be by languages, by anything. You just create the list with specific any title you want it. In this case, this is like webinars. We have like a bunch of different some stuff like, I don't know, some interviews, presentations from conferences, some based on this specific topic, or like interview with customers, so on and so forth. So you can choose different titles, and then you just put the videos outside from other people, from other channels, and they will be visible from the general channel of MicroProfile.
This is amazing, Tatiana. Thanks, Caitlin, for explaining. I was a little bit lost. but I got it. And I think we got it all. Definitely.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Tatiana, definitely create a Giddy shoe and we can start this. We don't have to wait until next year. We have Spanish, we have French, we have German, we have a bunch of languages that are ready to be linked. I didn't even know. I don't like YouTube. I do use it, but I hate it.
If you need help in creating the playlist, I can help someone.
All right.
Yep.
So I love the playlist stuff. So back on the line items, just real quickly, I do think we should split that back out just because the more specific we are, it helps our communication with the foundation. When we have generic line items.
I'm just like afraid that if we take it to the list and approve it with them, then we don't have this flexibility in the choice whether we are doing D-zone or not doing D-zone.
What would we call that category? What we're doing is we're pushing a technical article specifically, or?
Well, this is paid media, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, so like I say, when we have larger generic items, it leaves it open to interpretation.
We can do something like that. Paid ads, samples of what paid ads can be, paid media, D-zone.
I think that would be better.
But then it's fixed.
What?
We address it, fix to do it as paid media, D-zone.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, just because when we have the larger buckets, you know, sometimes action is taken against our plan and we're informed about it. And so it's better for us to try to be specific to prevent that kind of thing from occurring.
Okay.
We got 10 minutes left. So the budget we had set aside for shirts isn't going to happen. We have basically 5K from 2021 to spend, and we have 10K on the board. We should probably, figure out what to do with that, because we do have a content issue, right? So I looked at our blog, we got 8 posts over the last year, and we're going to need to get a lot more content if we're going to be driving this much ad revenue towards content. We're going to need more content. So, rewarding people with, like, if you write an article, you get a hoodie or something like that, or a shirt, is probably going to be pretty essential to getting more content to blog, to push, to boost. So, are we, looks like we're at 21. We got 800 left over. Do we want to just kind of like dump that into?
So, hey, David.
Yeah.
The swag. Sorry, did you say we're not going to do swag?
We are.
Yeah.
How do we fulfill that generally? Do we buy and then ship?
So what we were going to do with our 2021 budget was basically buy
we can show it. Can you show it as well?
We don't really have time, so I'm going to get through this. We're going to buy a few thousand shirts. Like, I think it was, I don't remember.
Just go down, Tatiana, you will see it. All the numbers are there.
And then ship them out to jugs in parcels of about 20, and then they would distribute them from there.
I was just thinking of something that to reward someone for doing a blog by giving them a hoodie or something. We don't know the sizes, we don't know where they are, we don't know how many. It might be easier to do that on an on-demand basis. There are services that allow you to do individual ones, and they do cost a little bit more, but it saves you having inventory.
Even better, Vince. This is why I wanted you to join a while ago.
Sorry.
No, I know. Not throwing you under the bus, but I'm saying we have these Giddy issues about putting the MicroProfile swag into the website and making it so that not only people can buy swag like directly from the vendor, but also it can be rewarded, right? And we need to set up the system. And I know you and our friends at the Patch and Software Foundation have these websites where you can buy one stick.
Yeah. You can. That's easily done. It's just a couple of different services that you engage with, and they ship for you. So on demand.
Yeah, and you can omit shipping enriched cotton around the globe and pay for that additional shipment and taxes, customs, and stuff like this. These on-demand services usually have these zones, free trade zones that could be addressed directly.
Yep.
That's much better. And therefore, I would vote for putting these $880 to swags and events.
Yeah,
and
me
cover it
too.
there.
Let's move it to swag. So then we're saying that finally we're going to work on setting up the swag internationally, directly from the website.
Well, I think that we still need to discuss that later to see how that is going to work. Today, we don't really have time already to discuss that in more details. Just before we move on, Clark, before giving away, he mentioned that we also need to work on SEO, search engine optimization, and he shared again the document around these research questions that we have. So guys, if anyone have at least some time, please jump into this document and help everyone to improve the situation. Just to remind again, considering other questions. So today, more or less, we finalized the budget directions.
Tatiana, sorry to interject here. Though while I agree that we need to bring swag to be directly in the website for people that will want to buy it and things like that, I don't think we will be equipped to handle that immediately. And I think we do need the vendor that we have currently set to trigger for the 10K, because setting up the systems that Vince speaks, he has, Vince, they do it with Atlanta Jag. I have seen it done with Apache Software Foundation. That takes time. Like the infra takes a lot of time. So we cannot use it likely for 2022 budget, but it's something that we should be doing it later. We need to be very careful.
Amelia, I can set that up in a few hours.
Wow. Do you see this? Does anyone disagrees with having, so Vince, we need to talk about this then, because you need to tell us via the marketing Melanist, what are the requirements, what are the pros and cons?
Just the designs to use.
And
maybe you can show some sample during the next call, like how
I can show you. I can show you a site that's already set up from one of last year's events that I did. I can show you next time we do this. It's easy to set up, put it that way.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so anything else around budget? Are we agreed on that?
I think it looks good.
Swags, paid aids, paid media. Great. So 2 minutes left. Just to finalize and say what should be done within the document. I don't have the right, so who has the rights to close the issues? I saw that Amelia did a great job closing bunch of stuff like during this and previous week, but there are also some points, they are marked with red here, and here that should be also closed.
We will close all of them. Tatiana and a bunch of you have tried trash access. You can start closing tickets. Just try it. It should, all of you, it's Caitlin. I think we should give Caitlin like a minute to tell us who she is, why she's here.
Oh, I have already.
Yeah, we didn't do that because we went something
yes. Okay.
We went right into business.
Yes.
Okay.
For real. I know Vince, of course, this is my first time on this call. It sounds like it may be yours too. I just moved to New Jersey from being in Georgia for a few years. So
you're in Georgia?
So where I was in Atlanta with a jug, I've now joined the Garden State jug, and that is how they recommended for me to get started attending some of these marketing meetings, which of course turned right into quote unquote co-hosting from the outset. I'm glad, Tatiana, you have been a very comforting guide as far as having everything totally taken care of, so I can just watch and see as I learn. And a little bit about me, I alluded earlier, I'm definitely not technical. I'm actually a recruiter, and in the past year, I started a recruiting firm of my own, excuse me, for startups. So mainly focusing on software engineers, but helping people establish the teams that take them forward into who their company will
Hey,
be.
don't worry, Kate. I've managed to fake my way through this technical community for years.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody's pretty welcoming, so it works out. I used to be nervous, but I'm not anymore. So kudos to all of you.
Great, thank you. Thank you for
I
joining.
told you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It's so
Welcome.
fantastic to see to have you here, Caitlin. You and Neha. So we have like two contributors like just coming here, and it's just so exciting.
I was super excited for Caitlin actually, and that's why I had to make sure that I joined today.
Oh, Neha, thank you.
So cute, so cute.
Much love to everybody. Y'all rock. I do have to drop. I hung up on someone that I
We
need to call
all
back now.
already dropping because we are out of time and we are trying to stick to the time. So thank you everyone for joining today, and have a nice evening, days, mornings, whatever you have today right now.
Thanks,
Thank
Tati.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Diana, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.